The Tale of Terry and Mr. Flappy. Chapter 1. When Fish Get Marginally Annoyed. The Rhine is an incredible river that runs through Central Europe and up into the North Sea. It runs through 3 countries, Switzerland, Germany and the Netherlands, as well as forming boundaries between Switzerland and Liechtenstein, Switzerland and Austria, Switzerland and Germany and France. There were 106 million people in the cities lining the Rhine. It was a big river with lots of fish in it, one of which is called Terry, the incredible blue hedgehog fish. He has blue eyes and green hair and lives in the Rhine with his friend Mr. Flappy. One day Mr. Flappy and Terry went on an adventure to the North Sea. On his way there he needed to eat, of course, so they stopped at a lovely hillside tree to get a bite to eat. Terry ordered a fish salad, and Mr. Flappy didn't order anything, because he didn't speak or walk or any order or anything, unless you are a madman with a name which would form into the silly word of Max Leak, who was on loose with an undue button. Anyway, back to the lovely hillside tree where Terry was eating his fish salad, when he suddenly realised that he was eating Mr. Flappy. Through a mouthful of Mr. Flappy, he said, "Oh, ugh." He finished eating Mr. Flappy and ran out in circles with his hands, well, flippers, on his head. "Oh no! Oh no! I must save Mr. Flappy." He looked down at his plate and saw that he had eaten all but a tiny corner of Mr. Flappy. He quickly gobbled it up and stabbed the shopkeeper, who was pretty scared too, to see a fish order salad and run round the cafe shouting. He died pretty instantly, even though the fish could carry a butter knife and only reach the shopkeeper's lower shin, but he did all the same. The evil fish then slowly ate the shopkeeper's dead corpse and evilly smiled, very, very evilly. Then he heard sirens and realised he was surrounded by the German police. He looked to his right and saw that a piece of the shopkeeper's hand phoned the police. No one really knows what happened next, except that Terry unmercifully slain the whole German police force. Then he jumped into action, first eating the half of hand that had phoned the police in the first place. He realised that he was now surrounded by the whole of the French police force. He was quite full from his big lunch, so he saved the killing of the police unless he really had to. "Catch me if you can, silly police," he shouted just before he was caught by the silly police. He nicked a gun off the ground from the Germans and shot the French man who was holding him. Now free, he dived sideways, grabbing hold of a bottle of tartar sauce. He stood up and sprayed the police with the liquid, but only Fish. I called him this because he had only eaten his only friend. Then ate up all the silly policemen in his sights. He licked the rest of his blood off his lips. So good. By the way, I should tell you that this fish does have a horrible blood rage when it comes to killing his best friends. So in the past he had lost on record 257,000 and a half of his best friends, all the fish in the Rhine. Now this, of course, but because they all have 6-second memories, except for Alistair, who has a 5.34-second memory. When they are asked for friendship, they willingly accept. Anyway, back to the blood-filled cafe by the Rhine, where the evil little fish called Terry was waiting. I'm not quite sure what he was waiting for, and for that matter, neither did he. So he walked over to the rooms at the back of the cafe, taking a knife out of the rack, and he went and opened the door to see a penguin in the corner of the dark, wet room. Please don't hurt me," it said softly. "I won't hurt you," "What's your name?" said Terry back to it. "Edmund." Terry's heart stopped. That one word struck a chord in him. At last he had found him. He smiled. Terry walked over and sat down next to the penguin, who flinched. Terry placed his hand, Flipper, on Edmund's arm. This penguin was cold and shivery. "I won't hurt you." He lied, for Terry was about to do what he had waited a very long time to do. "How did you get here?" Terry said. He was taking his time. He was enjoying it. "I was in prison here, just after I came back from—" "Where you came back from terrorizing my home and all my friends?" Terry interrupted. I mean coming back from— where? Coming back from the market," he mumbled. "See, I came all the way down from Arctic to Germany on my holiday." "I came from the market," he said, "and was attacked by a gang claiming that his vista had run out, and then he was locked up there." The penguin was tired out by the story, and looking very drowsy. That would make it a lot easier, Terry thought, as he brought out the rather large kitchen knife. Kitchen knife. That's the old saying. He rolled Edmund, who was fast asleep, over and read a strip of writing on his back. Terry burst out laughing. "I get it. Why is it so easy to wear fish? Because they all have their own scales." "That's genius," he said, giggling. Then suddenly all humour vanished and plunged the knife deep into Edmund. The penguin squawked briefly and then went silent. Revenge was sweet. "That's for all my friends you ate. You find?" he said, standing up. He took one last look at the dead bird and then walked out of the room. He had just strolled out of the cafe when he found his path blocked by a huge giraffe-like thing. He looked up and asked what his name was. "Bath," it replied. "Who are you?"